Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Southend Dog Training Podcast, Unfiltered.
It's been a while.
It has. There's been a lot going on, which we'll get into in a minute. But you were saying this morning, like, you can't believe how many people actually like this podcast.
I know. I was looking in the WhatsApp groups yesterday, and I get a weekly report of how many people download it. Even last week, something like 500 people downloaded the season 2, Episode 1. I thought, that's amazing. That's quite a lot of people, really.
It is. I mean, podcasting is the way forward, but we always sort of neglect it, and not intentionally. It's just one of those things. I mean, podcasts take a lot. Don't get me wrong. You have to have multiple cameras set up. And podcasts normally run about an hour long, so it does get a little bit... Just trying to find the time to do it.
It does, and I'm going to just quickly drop that back there, because I don't think I'm in the frame. That's it.
You in the frame?
We're in the frame.
Am I in
Carry
the frame?
on. This is all a bit ad hoc, guys. How we got in this morning. I went, right, we're going to film the podcast, and here we are.
Well, what makes the podcast special is we don't really format it, we just talk.
We just wake up.
The podcast sort of transpires when there's a lot of shit to get out there. But let's start with the news, shall we? It's a new feature of this episode.
Dog thefts.
Dog thefts. That seems to be the hot topic this week. There was an XL bully that got stolen, locally. Went absolutely viral, went on to BBC News and all that stuff. But it's becoming a real thing, dog thefts. You're seeing more and more of it, particularly with designer breeds. So let's give the audience some advice on things they should do.
Okay.
First things first, if you've got a designer breed, and when I say designer breed, I mean something along the lines of XL bullies, pocket bullies, micro bullies, even French bulldogs fall into that realm because they're very desirable, and even doodles, cockapoos, cavapoos, things like that. So you have to be careful with it, because the reality is in this day and age, in modern climate, people are looking for a quick way of making money.
I was reading one of the comments the other on that post, and they said, well, the trouble is you're walking around every time with at least £5,000 walking around in front of you. And that's what the dog is. It's money. And even the police just reported it as property theft.
Well, that's the issue with dogs, and I know there's a lot of people trying to petition to change this and things, but dogs are property. Yeah. That's it. Dogs, although we class dogs as family members, dogs are property. That's how they're viewed. Yeah. If somebody comes and steals your child, that's kidnap. If somebody steals your dog, that's theft of property.
And the best way to look at that is, when your dog goes to bite someone, and if it does serious harm and goes to court, trust me, you're the one that's accountable for that, not the dog.
Yes. So, dog thefts. And it's so easy these days to obtain dogs because of social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw this thing a few months ago. Somebody literally made a mock-up of somebody's living room from their photos that they had posted on Facebook. So it's almost like really stalkerish alert. Yeah. But somebody had taken a profile from Facebook, and they had used their profile to redesign their living room exactly the same as theirs based on their social media photos. And people don't think about that. People don't think about that photo they post of their new car, their new dog, for instance. Right. How many people are looking at that? Now, you're going to have dog thieves that are going to be going, right, you're in Southend, right, I now know what road you live down, based on the photos, videos you're taking and things like that, and then it doesn't take long for them to do it. And like I said, with something like a French Bulldog, you're looking at about $5,000 for a pedigree French Bulldog. But you can steal a French Bulldog, sell it for $2,500 without papers. People will pay that.
Yeah, easily.
So it is about being safe. Couple of things. We have got a safety video on our website of things to do to protect yourself against dog theft, but a couple of things. You can get this spray, which isn't pepper spray, it's just a gel. It's a good pet deterrent, but it can also be used against people. It's actually completely legal. You can go and pick it up in the shops. Okay. It's on our website. The other thing is, if your dog's got no recall, don't let it off the fucking lead, yeah? Because particularly dogs like French Bulldogs are generally pretty friendly. American Bullies are pretty friendly dogs. Cockapoos, pretty friendly dogs for the best part. Yeah, all it takes is someone to go, oh look, there's a dog over there. Go over and say hello. So make sure that you've got a wicked recall before you let that dog off the lead.
Yeah.
Second thing, if you don't, attach that dog to you. There's a dog walker in Scotland. She uses carabiners.
Yeah, I've seen that. One on a harness, one on a normal collar.
Yeah, literally use a carabiner. Make sure that dog's attached to you. And if you are sort of a vulnerable person or something like that, make sure you go out with a friend. Meet up with friends, meet up with families, or don't go out when I know it's getting dark now, but don't go out walking by yourself if you're a vulnerable person or something like that, because the reality is, it's a desired thing right now. Nobody wants to fucking earn a living anymore. Everybody wants to earn a living off of somebody's fucking back. Yeah, steal a dog, flip it on fucking what's that fucking website there? Gumtree, yeah, there you go. We'll go with Gumtree. Flip it on Gumtree.
We're not sponsored by Gumtree.
No, we're not. I'm drinking Huel right now. I'm not sponsored by Huel either. But the reality is, it's just about being safe, about being smart. You sit there, you got the dog, and you got to understand that certain dogs are worth a lot of money in this modern era. That's why you get a Rottweiler. Get yourself a fucking Rottweiler. No one wants that.
No, they're donkey as fuck. No one even wants them, even if they've got them. But going back to protecting yourself, something you said about the gel there. Obviously, any tool can be used as a weapon. So, for instance, hammers are used to hammer in nails, but they could be used as a weapon. Deep heat spray is great as a muscle relaxant, but also it's pretty fucking painful if you get someone in the eye with it by accident.
Yeah. So let's be careful where we go. We're fucking brought up on like freaking charges. Southend dog training told me to just get a can of hairspray and a lighter. Fucking blow tools.
Deep heat spray. My legs ache when I'm walking.
Also, do not bank on your overreactive, insecure dog being enough to protect you, because the reality is these criminals that steal dogs are smart. I watched this scary post the other day on it, and there was like 3 of them. They all had balaclavas on, and they were talking about them literally going to steal people's dogs. If they see somebody walking by themselves alone in the woods, they will just rush that person and take the fucking dog. And they know it's bad and they know it's wrong, but what they meant to do, they sounded like they were from London, these people, but they know it's wrong, but they said if the dog is problematic or reactive, we got this person right here. They pointed to another person in balaclava. He's like, he's the dog expert. So, and that's the thing. The amount of people I meet that go, my German Shepherd's trying to protect me, no one can come near me, and those people then come to me, and I'm like, enough! And the dog's like, ah! And just fucking hides behind them. Yeah, do not mistake your fucking insecure, overreactive dog as a dog that's going to protect you. The reality is, the only way to know 100% if your dog's going to protect you is if it's a purposely bred dog that's had training to do it. Some dogs will protect you, don't get me wrong, but 9 out of 10 of them, doesn't matter how big or mean they look or how much they fucking bark, as soon as you fucking challenge them, their arsehole drops out.
Yeah.
So if you have any whereabouts about dogs, when to move forward, when to stop, very easy. So we have to protect ourselves, guys. So that's the main topic
That's that, and also dog thefts in the home. Cameras are so cheap nowadays. Get a Ring doorbell camera. Get one off of Facebook Marketplace for 40
Don't do what I do. My Ring doorbell's always fucking dead.
Plug it in. Leave it plugged in. But
don't be like Adam. Be smart. Get 2 batteries.
If you're out, have it on motion setting. Get yourself a little notification when someone comes near the door or something. And then just switch it off.
I'm glad you mentioned this, because I actually fucking completely forgot about theft in the home. Right?
Yeah, well, that's where this one was stolen from.
Don't leave your fucking dog in the garden. Don't have a doggy fucking flap for your dog to go in the garden whenever it pleases. Yeah.
Me and Adam couldn't fit through one, but some criminals will.
Well, it's not even that. They've only got to get in your garden. If your dog can come in the garden, you don't have to get through the fucking doggy door.
Yeah.
And you got to think, if you put a doggy door on your home, it makes it easy to gain access to. Even the safest doggy door is easily just booted through. And the reality is, do not leave your pets unsupervised, even for 5 minutes. If you've got a back gate, for instance, if your dog's in the garden, watch it. Doesn't matter whether it's a puppy or whether it's an adult dog, watch it. Doesn't matter whether it's a fucking big 50-kilo Rottweiler or whether it's a freaking French Bulldog, watch it. Yeah, and as Evan said, cameras these days are so bloody cheap. Do everything in your power, because the reality is we all sit here and think it's never going to happen to me. My dog's never going to get taken. I'm a 1 step ahead of everything until it happens.
And the other thing is, obviously, we're big advocates for crate training anyway. If your dog is crate trained, put it in a room out of sight at the end of the day. If someone comes in over the fence looking for your dog and the dog's not wandering around aimlessly in in your back room or something, they think it's not going to be there, they're much less likely to go rummaging through your house looking for the dog. So out of sight, out of mind. That's how I'd look at that.
So that's the main news. Let's talk about news in Southend dog training. What's happening in the world of Southend dog training, Ev?
What is happening? Right. I think the first one's actually quite an interesting subject because it's a recent one. Well, actually, one is about our biggest fan, but I think we'll come back to her later.
No, that's not news.
We'll come back to her later. We'll talk about her in a bit.
Stalker alert.
Yeah.
News, what's happening?
News.
Centre.
Dog training centre. So we have applied for full planning permission for a dog training facility in Basildon. So we're just waiting to hear back on that one. And we've agreed the rent terms and everything else. But we will be able to hold 2 classes at a time and a 1-to-1 session with all the officers there and everything.
The plan going forward from there is to, if obviously everything goes to plan and the council accepts it, will be to run evening classes Monday to Friday and classes all day Saturday and Sunday. That'll be group classes.
Yeah.
It means
they'll be accessible for everyone. That's the big thing.
And we're going to get a fireman's pole in it because there's an upstairs, downstairs, and there's already like a freaking emergency ladder, but it needs a fire pole.
Yeah, and an airbag to jump off onto.
So yeah, that's just, again, it's about Southend dog training, just stepping up the game, going to the next level.
At the end of the day, what we do now works. It works. It's not amazing. Obviously, we've got our private fields we rent out. That's where we hold the classes now. We often do 1-to-1 sessions at my house or in the surrounding streets, which is great because the dogs are here and things like that. But we want it obviously all together. We want all the staff together.
Well, it's nice to have a front of house like Sam or Leanne sitting there. Yeah. Hi, who you here to see? I'm here to see Adam, or I'm here to see Lee. Then they go through to the kitchen, they're offered a drink, and then obviously they're taken through to the trainer. It's just, again, it's that little bit that separates us from everyone else, and that's the...
On that note, it's not just Adam and Lee anymore, is it?
No, there is now Lottie.
Lottie and Aaron.
Lottie and Aaron.
Yes.
2 new trainers at Southend Dog Training that have their little trainee badge removed to fully fledged dog trainer.
Yeah, so they are beginning to do their 1-to-1 sessions, and Lottie's going to be doing group classes as well.
Yes,
Cotswolds.
Lottie is amazing, group classes in Cotswolds, but again, it's the more people we can train up and the more people we can help, it gets the waiting lists down.
Yeah.
It means we can cover more areas, and that's what it's all about.
Requesting home visit wise, I mean, obviously we have the form on the website to fill out. We generally average about 50 a day, people wanting home visits from us. And you just think there's only, if at the moment obviously it was you and Lee, obviously until this past week, but how the hell are you and Lee going to do 50 a day?
It's impossible.
It's just not...
Well, I can't because I have other things to do, which now brings me to the next point. My life and your life are fucking hectic, right? Yeah. This is why I'm so focused on training people up to do what I've been doing for the last 10 years, because there's things that I'm now having to do that takes me away from the doing dog training on a day-to-day basis. I still train dogs. If somebody's adamant, no, I'll only work with Adam, I'll train that dog. And I still like to train a dog once or twice a week, but the reality is my time now and everything that's happening...
It's in the online group.
Yes, it's making sure the content is here. Like doing podcasts, for instance, giving freaking advice to people worldwide, because we aren't just an in-person business anymore. Obviously, we've got the online business. The other thing that's happening, Ev, isn't there a book? Or 2 books?
There are 2 books coming out. We're not going to give away who by, but the first one is due in March.
Yes.
So, and it's going to be very, very exciting. You are going to see that book everywhere. On wherever you are in the world, you will be able to buy that book in your language as well.
It's one of those things where the fans ask, the fans eventually get, because we are very much customer based. We very much listen. I mean, this is why we're doing a podcast, because people can go, "When's the next fucking podcast?"
Thanks, Jenny.
Yeah.
I saw your latest
But
comment.
also, since fucking for as long as I can remember, have you got a book? Have you got a book? Have you got a book? Because the reality is, there are still a lot of people out there that don't know what a podcast is.
No.
That don't have Facebook. I mean, Facebook's for the old people, no offence. But
I love Facebook.
I fucking hate Facebook.
I can't use Instagram, and TikTok just winds me up.
Instagram is the way forward. Topic for another day. And TikTok. But I hate Facebook. But we have Facebook because
you know what I actually used for the first time ever last night? I thought it was brilliant. YouTube Shorts. I actually really like that. Have you ever heard of YouTube Shorts?
Yes, we post YouTube Shorts every single day.
I don't post YouTube Shorts.
Every day we post a YouTube Shorts, you fucking
I was flicking
moron.
through that. I thought that was brilliant. I never got into TikTok. But I absolutely love YouTube Shorts.
Yes,
Oh, that's
nearly
good.
every video we post on YouTube is a YouTube Shorts,
It's
dude.
like 59 seconds.
Yes, just throwing it out there. Anything under a minute is classed as a YouTube
Do you
Short.
want to go back to what you were talking about? Maybe we'll edit that bit out.
I tell you, bro, no, let's not. Let's keep in the fact that Evan is fucking way behind us. As I said, Facebook is for
Old people.
Old people.
I love it.
Although you're technically younger than me. But
Yeah,
you act older. It's
Yeah,
fine.
right. I'm the James, mate. You're the Hammond.
You
'cause
are Captain
crash.
Slow. I've driven behind you when you're leading a convoy.
Hold on a minute. Who's fastest on track?
Well, on track. In the real world, though.
Oh,
where
the
it
real
matters.
world, where it
Where
doesn't,
speed matters.
where it doesn't matter, where you just sit back and cruise. And,
You would be late. If you was a dog trainer, you'd be late
No.
to every appointment.
no, I'll do a Lee. I'll be an hour early. I am always early for everything. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I can't be. It messes up my day. If I'm a minute late, that's it. My whole day's ruined.
I get it. It causes me major anxiety. I get that. I really do. Fucking massively anal about fucking punctuality. Right, but we digress.
It's more that camera. It's going to be uploaded.
Okay, it's fine. But no, I don't know where to look. There's cameras everywhere. Yeah, but yeah. So there's still a lot of people out there. For years, I've been asked, "Are you going to do a book? Are you going to do a book?" All right. Because there are people that they get confused even when they come onto the online group, and we try to make it as idiot proof as possible. We literally have, I don't have to be able to see, but literally on our homepage it says, "Hi there, new members. If this is your first time visiting the site, click the button below and navigate new members category." And literally it shows you where to start step by step and everything, but there are still some people that just want to pick up a book and read it. So we are listening, and that's what we want to do. Lots of publishing companies have reached out to us. We're not going to say who we...
Let's talk about it. We're not going to talk about who the publishing companies are, but their whole experience. Because we was approached by two very large publishing companies. Now, I don't think myself and Adam really understood the gravity of what was happening at the time. We were sort of, can you come to London? We want to have a chat with you, and we love your idea. And we sort of get to London, and we have a meeting with a few of them, and suddenly we walk out the office, there's like 15 of them there. Some of them have brought their dogs in because they're all big fans of Adam. And then suddenly the managing director walks past. Now, when you guys obviously see who the book's published by, you're going to go, yeah, there's quite a bit of like gravity behind that. And sort of me and Adam just strolled in there like it was another day in the office.
Well, to be fair, it was another day in the office for me. I mean, that's when I give Ev the fizz when he realises what Adam does.
Adam just loves it. He was laughing it up. He was like, I'm so happy.
Attention!
Everyone's looking at me. I'm so happy. It's like a Labrador.
I am. Super friendly. Like.
He was out as well. He was
It's actually more like a Staffy. Yeah, give me some attention. And I was just fucking laughing up. I need more. I
He
need
wet
more.
himself a little bit.
So there's that.
Yeah, there's that, and we are the TV series as well, which again we was approached for. We haven't paid a penny or anything like that. They're filming it all. It's gone to the next stage with the channel. So, and believe it or not, the channel and the book are related in the companies that they own or work for. So it's very exciting.
Yes, and this has been a big dream of mine, is to have a TV show, because. But all the TV shows out there at this moment in time, they're so fucking generic. What happens is there's a sub-story, there's lots of clever editing, and then obviously there's the end result.
Yeah.
But for instance, I won't name the trainer who done it, but we've worked with a lot of the dogs that were too bad for his TV show.
Too bad for TV. Yeah.
Too bad for TV. And they're really not. They're fucking simple cases for the best part. But because they wouldn't make you look good on TV, they were rejected from the show.
And they paid a lot of money, to be honest.
Yes. But, where was I going with this? So, the first time I saw that TV show, there's two Labradors literally dragging this lady down the street on harnesses, right? Which is a typical scenario. Then, 30 seconds later, he's walking them on flat buckle collars. He's like, all you had to do was put them on a normal collar and not a harness. I'm thinking, you lying bastard. I'm thinking, there is no way dogs pulling like that much of a fucking freight train all of a sudden on a normal collar, which again will create agitation and more frustration if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, those dogs got some uber corrections behind the scenes, and this is what I want. It's all fucking dressed up. It's all fake. So there is a niche in the market to do what we do fucking best, and that's authentic.
Being honest.
Yeah, and that's it. What you see is what you get. One of the main things that have got Southend dog trainers where they are is the authenticity. And that's what I want. I want the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't just want to show the good side of it. I want to show the messy side of dog training because it's not always fucking pretty.
It's not, no. So
yeah, there's a massive insight to do dog training right, to do a program that's not been done properly before. So super excited about that. Speaking of authenticity, I was just looking through my phone before I started this podcast, and I did a video this morning, right? And this cracks me up. Right, literally, somebody has commented, "Why do you swear?"
Because you're a wanker.
Yes, because I'm an absolute arsehole. Right, why do you swear? I mean, what is the mindset of somebody that comments that, right? So my response to this was very simple.
To offend you?
Yes. Fuck off. No, that wasn't my response. I digress. It's on Instagram. Go check it out.
Well, it won't be there when this is released.
It was released. The video I'm talking about, 25th of November. Anyway, my response to it was, because that's me. Far bigger issues in life to be bothered about, buddy. And then somebody also commented, "Why do you care?" And then somebody else went, "I honestly love it. It feels like I'm watching Gordon Ramsay teaching dog training." But you know when you think, right, what possesses somebody to fucking just write something like that? Mm. I swear. That's it. I honestly can't fathom the mind of someone that's offended by swearing.
Right, do I get it? It depends on what context it's done in, I think.
Well, I mean, if you call someone an absolute fucking cock,
then that's fair enough.
Yeah, be offended by it. but just swearing in the context of something, it's a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if that is what's bothering you in 2021, if that is what is offending you in 2021... I can
be offended by everything in 2021.
Well, yeah,
I'm allowed to.
But if swearing's what's bothering you, when we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, right, when we're having to be fucking quadzillion jabbed, it just baffles me.
Have you had your 17th booster yet?
Well, no, I haven't even had my first one yet.
No, neither have I. I went for to be fair, I actually went for my first one. They said, "Oh no, sorry, you've had COVID recently, you can't have it." I was like, "Alright."
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought I had COVID recently until I had 3 tests and they all come out negative. But
turns out he just had a cough.
Yeah, turns out I just had a cold, but we forget what the fucking cold is these days. But anyway, let's not get into politics and that and everything like that. Let's stay on topic, let's stay in our lane. But yeah, the reality is, I mean, it's what I want to talk about, business and everything. We're not going to go too much into trolls because I know you guys love a troll podcast, but we kind of did that last time and everything like that.
We'll touch on it later. I like control.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go on.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one major troll who's now talking about kink fetishes with me, which is amazing.
She is my hero.
Yeah, I know. She watched, I forgot about the news. She watched our Channel 5 programme.
So we was on My 5 the other day, guys, or 5-star. It was Porn Stars, Our Secret World. And we was a skit or an appearance on their show, or basically...
Yeah, they needed a dog trainer.
Yeah, the two girls met up to walk their dogs. Their dogs were a little bit reactive, a little bit lungy. They were very afraid of meeting up. And, pretty much they had to get Adam in to help train their dogs. So we was that sort of, a 20-minute bit in there, something like that?
No, it was a really, really good bit. It made Southend dog training look really, really good. Really professionally done.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Adam was in his
But what makes me laugh is this person, she's like, they use e-collars and prong collar. I didn't use an e-collar or a prong collar at all on these dogs. But then she's like, and he's working with porn stars. Like, that's a bad fucking thing. I'm thinking, you judgmental little fucking fuckface, right? Pull your head out your fucking arse.
Yeah. It's probably
right, so she's basically attacked porn stars during this. And I wonder if he uses those tools in the bedroom. I'm like, fucking hell.
Does she watch you all that much?
How does she know? Obsessed.
How does she know what we do?
Obsessed. But what is a, so what if you work with fucking porn stars? They got fucking dogs.
But it's not even that. It's just a job.
What? It's a fucking very good job. I'm not being funny, but who the fuck doesn't like sex, right? And if you can get paid very, very well to do it, why the fuck wouldn't you do it? Right? I'm not being funny. It is a job. They are their own boss and everything like that. And if it's done properly, who the fuck are we to judge? That is the point. Who are we to judge? Right? I will work with anybody that has a dog, regardless of their job, regardless of what they do, regardless of race, age, sex, religion, creed.
Yeah.
As long as they want to help their dog.
Yeah.
But then when somebody goes, oh, and he's working with porn stars, like it's a bad thing, I'm thinking, you judgmental little fucking Sally. Just fucking...
I mean, I say we wasn't going to talk about her, but she is such a fan. She absolutely loves us. And the thing I actually love now, I don't know how comfortable you're going to be talking about this one, but I think it's fine. She went, you've got no qualifications. Now, let's be clear, all of us have qualifications in dog training. However, it's an unregulated industry.
Yes.
And they all mean fuck all.
No, they do. So, we don't talk about... The reason we don't talk about qualifications a lot, yeah, people think because we don't respond to them that we don't have qualifications. Now, we are. Every single member of our staff is actually a qualified dog trainer, yeah? Now, the reason we don't brag about qualifications... One is because, as Evan said, they count for shit, right?
Well, just to be clear, dog training is an unregulated industry. Anyone, and we don't have to talk about our old friend that copied us, but he classified himself as a dog trainer. Clearly, he was a fucking idiot. But it's so unregulated so if you get a qualification in dog training, it doesn't mean anything because there's no regulation behind it.
No, there isn't. And the result, the actual crux of the matter is, most of these traders that bang on about qualifications, your average Joe, the people watching this right now, haven't got a fucking clue what they are.
They just want help with their dog.
If I got a plumber and went, are you qualified? And he went, yes, I've got a LucasAid sport degree. I wouldn't know if that's a fucking thing or not. I only say that because there's a LucasAid sport behind me.
I've got a Scythian Guilds level 17 in connecting pipes.
I don't know what qualifications I'm looking for when hiring a plumber.
I'm not a qualified
I'm looking at recommendations. I'm looking at freaking their social media to see the work they can produce, and I'm looking right.
The reputation, the reviews as well.
Yeah.
Look at our Trustpilot.
But I love it when I got a comment as well the other day. Somebody go, "What's bad is a trader that gives advice when he's got no experience in the field." I'm thinking, no experience in the field. I'm thinking I've been doing this for fucking 10 years and worked with fucking thousands of dogs.
He's been in the field a lot.
I'm thinking, no experience in the field. Because again, a lot of these people that are against it, right, they just bang on about qualifications. Now, the qualifications we have, right, are all in force free training because that is what the qualifications are out there, right? And so we're very much adept in how force free training works, how positive only training works and everything like that. But the reality is, the reason we don't bang on about them is because that alone is not enough. In this fucking day and age, that alone is not enough.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head there because in reality, a lot of what we use from them qualifications is what we was using anyway and what we use. However, we add to that.
Let's put it into perspective. Victoria Stillwell is not a qualified dog trainer.
No, Graham Hall's not a qualified dog trainer.
No, they're not. But Victoria Stillwell, right? Face of the Kennel Club, their go-to trainer in the Kennel Club. Victoria Stillwell is not a qualified dog trainer. She has an academy that people can join where they get trained up.
Of money.
Yeah, and they get this qualification. I'm doing air quotations right now, right? If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the air quotations. But she's not a qualified dog trainer. But people can do her course and then say, I'm a qualified dog trainer because I've been trained by Victoria Stillwell. There lies the issue. Yeah. Yes? I don't want to bang on about this because, again, it doesn't matter. It's all about what people are looking for.
Yeah.
What trumps qualifications all day long?
Experience.
Is experience. Yeah? Like I said, somebody could go to university for 5 years, get all the degrees under the fucking sun, right, but never train a dog in their life. Who's going to train that dog better? That person that's never actually handled a dog in their life or somebody that's been doing it for fucking 10 years and has a proven track record?
We'll move on from this, but I just want to add to it. I mean, I'm a qualified dog trainer. I am not a fucking dog trainer.
Yeah, even Evan's a qualified dog trainer and Evan has no idea about dog training.
The reality is, especially with COVID at the moment, most certifications are all online anyway, meaning you can become a fully qualified, fully pledged dog trainer without ever handling a dog or ever seeing a dog in real life, ever seeing an aggression case, ever seeing a reactive case or an anxiety, and you can suddenly assess that all online instantly. And it is just absolutely absurd.
Ev recently took a dog training course, right? And Ev actually...
Passed it with flying colours.
Right? Ev passed. He knew all the right answers to it. But I wouldn't trust Ev to train a dog, ever. Ev, when there's a client here, he will use his dogs. He'll be almost like my assistant for the day. Yeah. But I wouldn't trust Ev to go and fucking take a reactive dog. I wouldn't trust Ev, because Ev isn't a dog trainer. He's my business partner, but he's not a fucking dog trainer.
I am a dog trainer by title, just so you know.
Yeah, but he has qualifications in dog training, but I wouldn't trust him to train a fucking dog.
No.
But all these people like that Nikki Pissflaps that fucking keeps going on, right?
Yeah.
She's like, qualifications. All right, let Ev turn up at your door. See how fucking much help you get, right? It's ridiculous.
And we call her that because that's pretty much what she is.
Qualifications don't mean experience. Qualifications don't mean you're any good. They just mean you have a little bit of knowledge. But you know what trumps all of that? Actually hands-on learning, being in the fucking field.
And that's a big difference as well, actually. So, for instance, I could probably give advice online. I don't, because that's not what I do. But I probably could and give all right advice. However, putting it into practice are two very, very different things.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, hugely different.
Which we are discovering through business.
Yeah, and that's part of business as well, actually, guys. We've had some, not troubles recently. I say troubles in business, but business is always troubles, isn't there?
Put one fire out, another one fucking begins.
Fucking awful sometimes. But I want to talk about something. It's about products, actually, because sometimes people don't understand. So recently we've been offered some products, and they're probably all right, to be fair. However, it's the way things were dealt with and handled which made it not all right. So somebody was making a dog product in their home, which now some of the best products in the world are made at home.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple starting Steve's garage, for example.
Southend dog training.
Starting in Adam's.
Adam's house.
Yeah, that's it. And now we're in Evan's house.
Working at Adam's kitchen and back garden.
But so some of the best products in the world can be done there. But however, when you're, for instance, if it was a dog lead, and you made a dog lead and the stitching was bad and the dog got off the lead and got hit by a car, and they could prove the lead was at fault, i.e. by bad stitching, they could sue you. Now, unless you've got product liability insurance, now, it probably doesn't even cost a lot. It's probably about £80 a year. But, however, when somebody is offering... So they wanted us to, one, sell the product for them, two, not even give us anything out of it, i.e. not be an affiliate.
To be fair, that is the issue. Yeah,
well, they wanted to use our client
right? It's business. And I'm not being funny. We've worked 10 years, right, to get to where we're at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's not make no mistake about it. Right, we have 2 million followers worldwide.
Yeah.
Right, in pretty much every country in the world. I love the start of a live when people go, hi from South Africa, hi from India, hi from
Dubai.
I'm like, this is insane. Hi from Romania, right? Yeah. So to have that reach, right, and then have somebody think that, oh yeah, sure, just we'll advertise your products in there, get absolutely zero kickback as a result.
Yeah.
You would have to pay thousands in advertising. Online to get that kind of reach. Like it's insane. And at the end of the day, it's business.
It is business. Now, we're all for helping people out. Now, helping people out would be, that's fine, you can advertise to our clients, however, do sort us out a drink. Now, that would be helping people out. If we wasn't helping people out, we'd be going, yeah, you need to sort me out more than a fucking drink.
Yeah.
I
mean,
you know.
Like I said, it is business, right? And we do help people out. I mean, we gave 16 free one-to-one sessions away Friday just gone.
The amount of free stuff we give away, and obviously not everyone sees that, which we rename ourselves charity half the time.
Well, last month we gave 20 free one-to-one sessions away. This Friday just gone, we gave another 16 one-to-one sessions away. Yeah. Lee is literally paying for someone to be in classes right now because she's so desperate to help her dog, but she's got absolutely fuck all. So Lee's actually paying for her to be in the class. Right, so we do our share, and we will continue to do our share because I do believe in giving back.
Yeah.
We do. I'm going to help somebody that's working with a rescue next week. We're going to do some stuff with vets as well. And none of this is paid for. But we're doing it because it means it's going to help more people. We're doing it because it's about giving back. But when somebody just wants to come in and expect to use our client base for fucking free, fuck off.
The best thing about this is we spoke to well, not myself, but as a company we spoke to them about that, and then I got a shitty message from that person saying he's going to come down to our walks, he's going to follow us around, and there's nothing we can do about that. Unfortunately for the idiot, he hasn't heard of harassment. So it shows the mindset of people though, and their true colours. When, you know, we're running a business here, it's not a charity, although we do a lot of freaking charity stuff. We're going to a rescue actually next Thursday, I think it is. So yeah, and we've got to organise the vet visit as well to help the vets out, because vets reached out to us and said they don't know how to handle reactive dogs. So we're going to go down there for the day.
There's a vet that's opening up as well that want to be specialised in helping those cases, those reactive cases. The nervous dogs that are scared of the vets, the reactive dogs that have trouble at the vets, and they've reached out to us because they want us to be able to educate their staff on how to deal with that type of dog, because there is an issue there. A lot of vets are actually scared of dogs, right? And a lot of vets make the same mistakes every single fucking time. Without fail, I go into a vet's, I see a receptionist go over to a dog, hand out for the dog to sniff, hello baby, and I just see the dog backing away, barking. I'm thinking, you have no idea how to introduce yourself to a nervous dog, do you? Right. And this is the problem. If the vets aren't trained to deal with that behaviour, then it's going to be a more stressful ordeal for the dog. So this is a really, really good opportunity to actually create something special. And they reach out to us, and again, it's something we're going to do. It's something that's going to take up our time, but we're happy to give up our time if it means helping other people.
Yeah, absolutely. We're more than happy to give back, so to speak.
So
yeah, that's where are we now? So that's the news, I think.
Yeah, we've done the news. We've gone on. Well, I mean, there's no format to it. What I do want to do though is obviously we're trying to make this more.
Got some Instagram questions.
Yes, we have some questions. So I'd like to answer some questions from time to time. So every time we do a podcast, we put out a post on Facebook that says that. We want to get you guys more included in a podcast, so submit your questions, anything you want to know, and we'll answer some of those throughout the podcast. So we're going to go to that post right now. That's alive. There we go. So we've got some questions in here. So Emma Gibson has a really good question. I would love to know more about puppy socialising with other dogs. What's appropriate behaviour, what isn't, how best to advocate and set them up for a good experience. So this is actually a very, very good thing, because socialising, not many people know how to do it properly. And also there's a lot of puppy classes out there, and I'm not hating on puppy classes. If it's done right, it can be very beneficial. But a lot of puppy classes are run like Disneyland for dogs, so they don't actually help the dog. But it's clever business. So they'll take the puppy there, the puppy will get over-socialised and be a complete fucking knobhead, and then they'll go, right, now you need to join our adolescent class or our adult class, and the dog would be there for 10 years. Because each class messes the dog up just enough to get her to join the next class.
Well, the worst one is, and it was one of our clients, Natalie actually, said, oh yeah, my dog was put into the reactive pack walk class. In other words, so her dog was reactive, so they put all the dogs in with the reactive, Murphy, all the dogs into the reactive pack walk. So now you've got 20 dogs on a pack walk that are all reactive.
Yes, that's not going to end badly. So, puppy socialising. First things first, socialising. What do you think when I say socialising? What's the first sort of images that come to your head?
Going out for beer.
Right. Puppy socialising. What's the first thing that comes to your head from a non-dog trainer standpoint? Let's be honest.
All of them running around, playing, jumping on each other, having fun, rolling each other over, biting each other's ears.
Right. But you go straight to dogs. Yeah? So when you think puppy socialising, the first thing that comes to your average person's mind is mingling with other dogs in a playful manner. You didn't even think about taking that dog to different places to build that environmental socialising, getting that exposure to build confidence. You didn't mention people. You didn't mention different sights, different sounds, different smells, different noises, bikes, cars, any of that. That's what socialising is. Socialising isn't just dog on dog. Socialising is about teaching a dog how to behave in society in a respectful manner. How to deal with day-to-day things. How to deal with other dogs. How to deal with people. How to deal with skateboards. How to deal with cars. How to deal with everything. So socialising primarily is broken up into 3 different categories. You've got human socialising, dog socialising, and environmental socialising. Now, environmental socialising, what you do is you take your dog to many different places. You've got a puppy, you need to be going to different places, but you need to be doing it at the puppy's pace. Like, for instance, if it's your puppy's first walk, don't take it to fucking Peter Pan's and walk through a fucking, if you don't know what Peter Pan's is, it's basically...
It's Adventure Island.
Again, they're not... Thorpe Park, Chestnut World of Adventures, Alton Towers, it's basically a giant amusement park. Yeah? Don't just take your dog through there. Don't take your fucking puppy to a skate park on day 1. Slowly build it up. Let the puppy use its nose. This is why we don't really focus on puppy hill work, getting that nice tight hill work till around 5 months of age, because I care about letting that puppy sniff, letting that puppy explore, letting that puppy build confidence. When it comes to dogs, first, I believe in teaching social ignorance. Social ignorance is teaching your dog that good things come from ignoring dogs. So good things come, you see a dog, your puppy's a bit curious, as soon as your puppy disengages in any way, yes, reward the puppy. There's a dog over there, you're playing with your puppy, so your dog doesn't care that there's a dog over there. First, teach your dog how to walk past dogs. Good things come from ignoring other dogs. When you have that, then you can start to introduce your dog to another dog, but you do it in that order and you get much more success. Now, the dogs that you introduce your puppy to, the first dogs need to be well-balanced dogs. Yeah, you don't want the first experience actually saying hello to a strange dog to be your puppy to be knocked over, jumped on, squished into the ground. Because those puppies are like sponges in the beginning. And those early experiences will shape how that dog starts to turn out. So if their first few interactions are terrifying, where a dog's run over to them the other side of the field, jumped all over them and everything, then your puppy starts to get all defensive. And you don't see the issues until adolescence. So when it gets around 5-6 months of age, that's when reactivity will start. That's when that flighty mode will start. It's when they got a pair of balls and want to fight back. Pretty much. But people don't see that as puppyhood because they're so warped in the definition that your puppy jumping or being jumped on is a puppy having fun.
Yeah. Well, interesting to add on to that. One of my neighbours stopped me the other day and said, "Oh, how do I get my dog wants to go and play with every other dog?" And I said, "Did you take it to puppy class?" She said, "Oh yeah, of course, done all the puppy classes." Bless old Doris and that. Yeah, you know when she's taking a little 3 kilo.
But that's the common response. I took it to puppy classes.
But when she said, "Oh, she loves puppy class. She loved them. Every time we went there, she just ran over straight away, played with all the other dogs. She was so excited to get to puppy classes." And I went, "Great, how's that walk around the streets doing for you now?" Because her actual question was, whenever my dog sees another dog, she wants to run over and play with it. How do I stop that? And I said, "You've taught that dog from a puppy that every time you see another dog, it's friendly and it wants to go and play." I said, which is fine when your dog's 4 or 5 kilos and it's a little puppy, but I said, you've probably got a 100 kilo, like a 25 kilo, 30 kilo Labrador now, that now will pull her over. Yeah,
but this brings me on to the other point about it. Dogs work by association, right? And they form habits. Do the same thing over and over again, it becomes an expectation for the dog. Yeah, feed the dog 5 p.m. every night. It becomes an expectation. At 5 p.m. every night they get fed. And you'll see it in the behaviour of the dog. If you're late to feed them, you'll notice around 4:45, 5 o'clock, the dog starts pacing back and forth, waiting for its dinner.
Well, for an example, I changed my patio doors recently, as you know, changed them from like centre opening doors to bifold doors. Now, whenever the dogs want to go in the garden, obviously they stand by the back door, I open the door and I say, "Okay," and off they go. Bless old Leo, I didn't realise the bifold doors now open at one side and not the centre. So he's standing in the middle one, the glass door's there. As soon as I opened the door, I said, "Okay," he ran straight into the glass door. I was like, right, but that's a lesson learned.
Yeah, so on that basis, right, if your dog's walk consists of play, and then say on Sunday you want to walk your dog somewhere, your dog's walks are all excitement based. They're all play. Every time you see a dog, your dog's expectation, as you were saying to your neighbour, is play. Because that's what your dog's expectation of other dogs is. Same with people. If you let every single Tom, Dick and Harry say hello to your puppy because you think that's what socialising is, I've got a Rottweiler, so I need every person on the street to say hello to it so it becomes friendly. No. Because then what happens is you've got a dog that goes, "I must say hello to this person, I must say hello to this person." And when you have to stop it because that's not realistic and sometimes that's not possible, what happens is your dog gets frustrated and then reactivity starts to form. Yeah, because that's what your dog's association has become. That's what your dog's habits have become. So I always want my dog to ignore more dogs and be rewarded for ignoring more dogs and learning that good things come from me around more dogs than actually interacting with dogs. The reality is, the dogs that are walked on a day-to-day basis on the lead, that have a small group of dog friends, but then ignore the rest of them, particularly in this day and age where nobody trains their dog and thinks it's susceptible to go, "It's okay, he's friendly," as fucking their dog comes tear-assing across the field about to plough your puppy into the ground. It's fine, it's friendly. It's never bit a dog, but it's friendly. Yeah. Those people that avoid those situations, those people that their dogs have a small group of friends and the rest of the time the owner goes out and has fun with those dogs are way more balanced, way more confident, way more sociable. Because again, that's what their perception is.
So go on then. We run puppy classes. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is the dogs are taught that the owner is the best thing in life and not the other dogs. They're learning to pay attention to the owner in the presence of other dogs. They don't say hello to other dogs until they can sit there calmly, focus on their owners. They're very short because, again, another problem in puppy classes is they're too long. Puppy classes are too long and puppies have very short attention spans. The other thing is they are puppy classes. Yeah? I cannot stress this strongly enough. When you go to a puppy class and you've got a 10-month-old Doberman in it, and you've got a 10-week-old, not a 10-week-old, sorry, let's say like a 16-week-old Chihuahua, one of them is in the wrong class. Yeah? Because one of them is not a puppy. When it gets to around 5, 6, what's the word I'm looking for?
Adolescence.
5, 6
months of age?
Yes, thank you. 5, 6 months of age. I could get my fucking words together. 5, 6 months of age, that's when adolescence starts to creep in. For some dogs, it's slightly later. I don't think Leo hit adolescence till around...
About 7 months,
yeah.
7, 8 months.
But yeah, for 5, 6 months is generally when adolescence will start. Now, when I'm seeing 10, 11, 12-month-old dogs in puppy classes, they're not fucking puppies anymore. Yeah, and there lies the problem. Puppy classes should be puppy classes. When you're not a puppy, you shouldn't be in puppy classes anymore. But yeah, it's all on lead because it's not about letting puppies run around like absolute lunatics. That's how bad manners are formed, that's how bad experiences are formed. Puppies do not go off the lead until they listen to the owner. Doesn't matter how much they want to play with another dog, another person, how much they want to see something, they don't go off their lead. So yeah, Southend Dog Training doing puppy classes, and we'll be running puppy classes every single day. It's not a plug for our puppy classes, but there was a massive niche in the market for puppy classes to be done right.
Just going to see what Ted's doing. For those of you that can't see, I could just hear Ted having a bit of fun.
So to answer the last bit of Emma's post, how to advocate for your dog. If you're over a field or somewhere and there's an off-lead dog that you don't know, never listen to the owner when it shouts out, it's okay, it's friendly. That's code for, I've got no fucking control of my dog. What you do, if that dog's barreling down on you, you put your puppy behind you and you fucking grab hold of that dog. If you're scared to grab hold of that dog, you kick your leg out, you stamp your feet, you make yourself big and mean. I don't care what you do. But what you have to understand is the second that dog gets past you because you're worried about blocking it, holding your leg out, grabbing hold of it, the second that dog gets past you and jumps on your puppy learns in that moment, that very moment in time, you cannot keep it safe. And it destroys the trust of your relationship. Doesn't matter how many times you throw that tennis ball for the dog, how many treats you give that dog, how much fuss you give that dog. Trust is the difference between having a dog react and not react. Dogs that trust you, the reality is they don't react. If a dog trusts you 100% to keep it safe, it will not react to other dogs as long as you're in control of that situation. But if the dog senses you can't control that situation, it will react. And that goes the same if you've got a dog that's fine until somebody's rude or invades its personal space. If you cannot stop that, either don't go to these places where it's likely to happen, or be prepared to do whatever it takes to stop that. We're going to end today's podcast with some of the questions. We just answered a question about puppy socialising. I think it's a very, very good one. Let's look at some other questions that have been submitted to us. Adele Banksky, I don't think has been watching our podcasts. Because she's asked a question on the podcast for this one, but I don't think she's watched them. Because it is a little bit of your origins, your intro to the dog training world, and your ongoing motivators would be interesting.
Season 1, Episode 5, money. Ongoing motivators. No, it's actually not, to be fair.
Ongoing motivators are to help people. Like I said, the bigger we get, the more the people listening to this, the more the people that watch our content, share our stuff, the bigger Southend Dog Training becomes. And the more we can help people. Like I said, it's always been growing steadily, but we're now at the stage where, as I said, every time I do a live, I've got people from like Romania, India, Australia checking in. We're helping people on the other side of the world. You got Sharon from Ireland, right, with Biscuit, her German Shepherd. I've never met her. She joined our online training group with a reactive German Shepherd to both humans and dogs, right? Couldn't walk her dog had to be muzzled. She's now organising mini social walks with other members from Ireland to meet up with their dogs because of how much she's learned from the online group, the advice she's been given, the videos that are there to help them grow, right? And we've never met this person, and this is what it's all about. the bigger we become, the more people we can help. And that's what I want to do, because it's all about the dogs. The TV show will help us help more dogs. The book will help us help more dogs. The centre will help us help more dogs. The hiring more staff will help us help more dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's about. However, my origins into dog training, how Southend Dog Training became, and everything is season 1, episode 5 of the Southend Dog Training podcast. Joshua Bolton, get some admins on here. We'd like to hear the story how they joined. We can definitely do that. Yeah. Lottie would be a good guest to have on. She's just recently started training dogs.
Especially any of our admins would be good to have on.
Yeah. Carrie Donovan wants to hear about the hardest challenge you faced in dog training, like possibly the hardest dog to work with. Right, very good question. I like that question a lot. Now, I get asked every day, is there a specific breed of dog that's hard to work with and things like that? And I always say the same thing. It depends what you're trying to teach. Yeah, so if you're trying to teach a French bulldog to herd fucking sheep, that might be a little bit difficult. Yeah, if you're trying to teach a greyhound to do advanced obedience and Schutzhund work, or IPO for the people that don't understand what Schutzhund is, that might be a bit difficult. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's going to be a lot more difficult because it's not a breed originally designed to do that. If you want to get a Border Collie to do herding, you want to get a German Shepherd to do IPO, that's going to be a lot easier. So it all depends what you're trying to teach. However, the hardest case I've ever worked with, I actually use this as a case study in the classroom sessions I do with our trainers. We do classroom sessions where we pick a case study, a real life case that I've worked with. I then give a little synopsis of this case, the reason I was called to it, and everything like that. Then they get to ask me some questions on it. I'm only allowed to give yes or no answers. And then they propose what they would do in that situation. Then we talk about what was good and bad. The one I used recently in the last classroom session was a dog named Murphy. Now, Murphy was a dog that was hogtied and dragged around the streets. He was a rescue dog, and the owners had got him. They were very much advocates of rescuing dogs. But they had Murphy for 3 years when I went to meet him, and they'd never been able to walk Murphy. Never. They tried every tool known to man. They had 5 different trainers, but every time they put a tool on him, even in his safe spot, which was the bedroom in the house, even putting a harness on the dog, he'd release his bowels and shit everywhere. So when I say shit himself, I literally mean he would shit himself. And yeah, so I went there, and this dog was absolutely terrified of men. Yeah, like so much so that he tried to bury himself under the tiled floor. If he could have dug his way in, he would have. And I thought, right, you're so scared. Let me bring Sammy in, because I know he gets on with other dogs. He lives with other dogs. Let me bring Sammy in, see if I can use my dog to bridge the gap. So I bring Sammy in, and again, even the presence of a strange dog, a calm, balanced dog, Murphy didn't even move from that spot. That's how fucking scared he was. So I asked them about what the other trainers had done. A lot of them tried to offer food. It's not going to work. He would starve himself before he actually fucking went outside. One of them just sat there, told them how great he was and things like that. I went, has anybody actually just put a lead on him and fucking forced him outside? They went, no, because he poos himself. And this is where it gets really harsh. But this is the difference between Southend Dog Training and another thing, right? The one way of helping Murphy, because everybody had exhausted all options. All these force-free trainers, all this patience, all this fucking offering food, hand feeding, everything you could think of to do had been exhausted. And again, this goes back to the whole qualification thing. Force-free has a textbook, yeah? And when that textbook fails, this is when dogs are either recommending medication, which this dog was, yeah? Or told that the dog will never improve, and or worse, has to be put to sleep. Yeah, because their textbook only allows them to go so far. Yeah, whereas some dogs, you have to get outside of that. The best minds in the world, the best doctors in the world, step outside that textbook to save someone's life. Yeah, the best minds in the world sometimes have to step away from the realms of what is normal, what is textbook, to actually help someone, and that's what we do. And what we did, I put him on a slip lead, bit of pressure, he freaks out. Of course he did, he's been fucking hogtied and dragged around the streets. This dog at this moment in time doesn't know I'm here to help. He just fucking has these flashbacks of fucking hogtied and dragged around the streets. So he shit himself. Yeah, I knew he was going to shit himself. Yeah, he shits himself with a harness on. He's going to shit himself at this anyway. Right, so I'm taking my time. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. I get him outside, I wait for him to stop freaking out, I put him straight back inside. We'd go again. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. Get him outside, wait for him to stop freaking out a little bit, back inside. Then we take a break, have a coffee, have a cigarette. Then we do it again, right? And it took the best part of 3 hours to get Murphy to the end of the road and back without freaking out. Then for the next 2 weeks, I just said to him, all I want you to do is just get Murphy outside, end of the road and back. Outside, end of the road and back, right? And then we'll come back for a second session. By the second session, Murphy was able to go outside and up and down the road without shitting himself, yeah? So the fear was getting less and less. Right, we then used Sammy at this point because he was a little bit more okay outside, and we used the rest of his dogs, and we used them to teach him to follow. So every time Murphy got a bit spooked by something and refused to move, I'd get the rest of the family and dogs to walk off. So Murphy's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Everyone's fucking leaving me. And I'd use that sort of pack mentality that dogs do have, yeah? And again, when we talk about pack theory and how it's been debunked, what that is talking about training dogs like wolves. Dogs behave like wolves and things like that. That bit's been debunked, but dogs are still very much a pack animal. They do thrive on a pack, whether it's a pack of humans, whether it's a pack of dogs. They need to belong to something. They do well by themselves, don't get me wrong. But if you live with a family of 4 humans and a dog, that is the dog's pack. Yeah, so we used that, he started following him, and Murphy went on to basically join group classes, go on pack walks, and can go outside. He's never going to be a confident dog like, say, Sammy or like Leo or things like that, but he can go outside without feeling like the world's going to come to an end. But the only way to help Murphy was to do the one thing that no other fucking trainer that had been hired was prepared to do. And that was basically make Murphy go through the most terrifying experience that he's ever had to deal with, almost relive that to a sense so he can realise that's not what's actually going on here, mate. And it was horrible, and it was fucking ugly, and the dog shit himself, right? But that was probably the worst case I've ever worked with. In 10 years of working with dogs, I've only ever had 2 dogs that have literally shit themselves. They were that fucking scared, yeah? And it wasn't so much scared of me, although he was. It was the fact that he was so sort of abused in a sense by his past. But that was the only way to get him. Murphy'd be dead. You could leave the fucking front door open, he wouldn't run outside. Yeah, you could offer him all the food in the world and he would eventually be dead. You could literally sit on the floor and be as patient as you like. You could medicate him, it didn't work. Everything that was tried, everything that all the top full street trainers in the world recommend was tried. Didn't work. So yeah, that was Murphy. Doing great now, by the way. But yeah, sometimes you got to do the ugly stuff to come out the other side. We've got another question from Rebecca Allison. How do you know when a pup is old enough or ready to stop following the puppy routine and spend most of the time out of the crate? That isn't a set age thing because every dog's different. Depends how long you've been following that routine for. Have you been following it since the puppy's 8 weeks old? Have you been following it since the puppy's 5 months old and things like that? Not at all when they're a puppy. Puppies don't get freedom at all. Because the reality is puppies they make bad decisions. They pick things up, they're teething, they get up to mischief very, very quickly. I recommend following the puppy routine that's set in our online training group till the dog's at least 10 months old. And the reason being is because by this time, early adolescence would have hit, and that's where people go wrong. They think their puppy's behaving, they think their puppy's got a good recall, they think their puppy's listening to them, and then adolescence hits, and then all of a sudden they go, I just don't get it. He used to listen to me, he used to have such a good recall, he used to be so friendly. And I'm like, yeah, welcome to adolescence, because it's always at that adolescent mark, and that is what happens. You get lured into a false sense of security. So you want to make sure you're following the puppy routine into adolescence, make sure that you survive the early onslaught of adolescence, because it's a difficult time. Yeah, but when do you know when they're ready? It's basically when you've progressed from the crate to doing bed means bed, doing nothing outside of the crate. Start to introduce sofas if that's what you want. You can start to leave food down without the puppy without the dog trying to steal it and things like that. You can go upstairs and come back downstairs and your dog's not got up to no good. You slowly give freedom over time. It's not a set age thing. It's more about how much effort you're putting into it, how much you're working on teaching the puppy to settle down outside of the crate. And that routine is kind of always there. The only difference is that routine doesn't have to necessarily be forced anymore because it's a natural thing. When I bring my dogs back from a walk, I don't have to put them in the crate for them to learn to switch off. I did in the beginning, yeah. After exercise, go in your crate. When I'm eating food, go in your crate. I don't have to do that anymore because the consistency of that routine has now made it a default. So when I come home, my dogs go on the sofa now and go asleep. When I'm eating, my dogs stay asleep, yeah? They don't come over begging for food. Or if they're on the sofa and I'm eating, say, a takeaway or something, they'll get off and go to their bed because that's become the habit. So it's when those things start to take shape, you start to give more freedom, and you give freedom slowly. Too much freedom too soon, dog takes the piss. And on that note, guys, I think we're going to end it there.
Yeah, that's it. We was going to talk about how we are.
Yeah, I mean, we can save that for the next one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one for the next one.
Oh, how long have we been running for?
Just over an hour. Yeah, we'll save it for the next one, guys. We'll save that for episode 3.
Yeah, yeah. We still keep talking about the stresses of fucking running a business.
The stresses of life and things like that. Because it's just to summarise it, it isn't easy.
It's not. The reality is, I'll leave you with this, right? The amount of people out there that will quickly turn against you when you get any sort of credibility, any sort of fame, anything like that, will quickly all of a sudden go from being your friend to either wanting something from you, and when you can't give it to them, they will just turn on you, or they'll just get jealous like that. The amount of people that want a piece of the pie, that come in, try to attack you, try to make a name off of you or things like that. And like I said, Eminem said it best. You mention me, millions of views, win-win for you, lose-lose for me. And I love that lyric, I do, because the amount of absolute nobodies in this industry that will go, oh look, there's Southend dog training, let me try and attack Southend dog training. Yeah, and if I then mention them, I give them credibility and things like that. And it happens. Everybody wanting to take a pop shot, trolls. The more staff you add, the more stress that the business becomes, because it's no longer just you accountable for your actions. You have to make sure that the staff are trained to the level that you want. And again, the more eyes on you, people don't understand that, but the more people watching you, the more pressure it is. And yeah, so we was going to talk about that today, but we sort of digressed a little bit. So that's what we'll get into on the next podcast, shall we?
Yeah.
And shall we actually do the podcast next week? How we meant to?
I think it'll be a Christmas podcast.
So a weekly format or monthly podcast.
It'll be a monthly podcast. That's what we'll aim for.
So
I think the next one will be the
Christmas
special.
Talk about what's coming up at Christmas.
What's happened this year and how's it been, and sort of I think that'll do.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the trainers having mental breakdowns. And...
Yeah, and I, you know what? I don't blame them. There's one, and
the thing with. I'm seeing a lot of trainers that...
Can a leopard change its spots? Now, I believe people can change. Now I do. So there's something going on with one of them at the moment, and I don't want to go into, I don't want to say too much about it, but at the end of the day, what's happened with that person in the past, I do believe is in the past with them. You know, however they were in the past. I don't believe that's them now.
The reality is, it comes back to that pressure thing. Like, the bigger you get, the more your past can sort of come back to hold you.
Yeah.
And I sit there when I look at some of these things, I'm thinking, what did I do when I was 15 years old? Like, what could possibly come back and bite me in the arse for something that I did when I had like 100 followers?
Do you remember when you kicked that ball once and it hit the kid in the head? It'll be something along those lines, won't it? It'll be something absolutely ridiculous.
But the other thing I'm seeing in this industry, and I was on a live with O'Connor the other day, and we got really deep. It always become like This Is Your Life stories, and what I'm seeing is it's a toxic industry. It's a very difficult industry to make it in. It's a very difficult industry to actually sustain, and I'm seeing a lot of trainers that just a few months ago were the talk of the fucking everything, and now they're fading away, and the reason they're fading away is because of the negativity, and you cannot maintain that level of anger, hate and hostility towards somebody on a daily basis without it affecting your mental state. Yeah, people are getting sick and tired of the same trainers saying the same shit over and over again. You go onto the beauty of Southend dog training is every time you come on, there's a new video, and it's always something useful, something that you can learn from, or something that might have been you once upon a time that you can share to a friend, or something helpful, or something funny, or something educational. right? But when you go onto these posts and it's a trainer bashing another trainer, a trainer defending themselves over and over again to a fucking troll, a trainer talking about the same fucking thing over and over again, and let's be honest, isn't actually a major issue right now, right? But they're making it a major issue because they've become obsessed by it, and this happens. Obsession will either make or break you. If your obsession is about helping people, you will succeed in this industry. If your obsession is about worrying about what other trainers are doing, and your obsession is about destroying or defacing or whatever the word I'm looking for, is about fucking showing the world why this trainer is wrong, you will fucking collapse. Because it's toxic.
I've seen it. We try not to read the comments. I mean, we've actually had a block and delete.
I don't read the comments.
No,
except for today. I always read the first few comments.
From the troll side of things, you and I, we've had a block and delete policy now for probably close to a year. We don't want to be involved in it. We want people to come to us and see positivity. We want them to be helpful. If someone comes to us and goes, I hate you guys, you use prong collars, just fuck off.
Look at it from this perspective, right? Yeah, if you've got 100 comments on a video and you haven't responded to any of them yet because you're busy, you're doing things, and that's a regular day in Southend. You've got 100 comments on a video that you posted, right? If you go through them and the first comment you respond to is a negative troll comment, not only are everybody that took the time to comment on that post or need a bit of help or a bit more elaboration been ignored, the people that follow you that generally give a shit have been ignored. You go straight to the person that is being a big meanie that has nothing better to do in their life, right? And then you focus all your time on that. That is the mindset of the person.
Yeah.
Winners get fucking focus on the people that are going to help them win. Yeah.
Yeah. People are asking for help. Give them help. If someone's just being a dickhead, fuck them off.
Yeah. You're not gonna convince a troll to change its fucking spots,
No.
But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of trainers having to take breaks on fucking on social media.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of trainers just basically lose the fucking plot.
Yeah.
Because you cannot keep up that level of hate.
No.
You can't.
No,
Yeah. I mean, and I do. And this is what we'll get in on the next podcast, how it's easy to get suckered into that stuff. And how hate can fucking hurt you. It does affect you because we are fucking human.
Yeah.
And I spoke to this with Connor. We are human. So when you do see like really hurtful, distasteful things, you should go and hang yourself, like fucking death threats and shit like that. It gets to you. Yeah. I'm a fucking father with kids. I'm a husband. It gets to you. Yeah? And it can feel like sometimes that's all that's coming. But that's because your brain is getting suckered into that hate.
Yeah.
When you actually sit there, and we prove this every time we do a fucking troll podcast. Let's find some hate. Actually, it's harder than it looks. But you can get suckered into it. It's impossible to maintain that level of frustration, anger and hostility towards someone without it making your fucking life hell.
Well, as they say, if you hold
block and delete.
If you hold on to hot coals, it burns.
Yeah. And it will. The sad thing is, Nikki Pressburger, who we spoke about at the start of this fucking podcast, who doesn't like me working with porn stars, who's obsessed with me. Sad thing is, she's going to watch this podcast, the whole hour plus podcast, right? Because we mentioned her at the fucking start of it. She's going to watch this whole fucking podcast.
And we don't give a shit about
And then she's going to moan about it. I mean, come on, guys. If you can't see from the outside looking in how warped of an individual you must be to be that obsessed to make your mission in life to discredit, defame, spread hate about another individual, if you cannot see something wrong with that and the mentality of that person.
Well, let's put it this way. What do you and I do, or mainly yourself? You show people how it's done. What you believe is right, and from that, guess what? You explode as a business. The people that want to go, I don't like the way Adam does it, and they just put up little memes all the time, and this is how you should do. Put no videos or anything at all, and then they go, I've still got the same 1,000 followers I had when I first started, and you're like, well, that's because you're not helping people.
The most notable trainers in the world. Yeah, let's look at Say It Once, Vinny. I never see him slagging anyone off. I never see him defending himself to trolls.
No.
I never see him spreading hate. I never see him attacking other trainers. There might be loads of trainers out there that he disagrees with, but I never see him getting involved with it. Guy's got 2 million followers on fucking TikTok and freaking he's about 3,000 followers away from us on Instagram. He's getting there.
He's smashing it.
He's getting right, and he's my healthy competition because, as far as I'm concerned, he is the biggest player in this game, and I want to beat him on that level. But it's healthy competition, right? But the reality is, the reason he's smashing it, and the reason Southend Dog Training are smashing it, is because we don't get involved with that hate and that bullshit. And as soon as you can get your head around that, and you stop letting the hate drag you down, and you start fucking focusing on what's positive, that's when you'll really start to succeed. And on that note, goodbye.